Hi, my name is Erica Steeves, product stylist and commercial photographer. On today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about Whitespace and why you need it in your life and what it is. So let's dig into today's video. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. A new video will be dropping every Tuesday where I take you behind the scenes, giving you product styling, commercial photography, tips and tricks, and so much more. And today I am covering that so much more in working still on your mindset. Last week we did work on goal setting, and this week I want to talk to you about how you can problem solve by creating Whitespace in your calendar. This is a really great way that I find I get refueled for creativity and just a way that I can solve different problems that I'm facing with blocks or just like hurdles that I'm finding that I'm not able to work efficiently or be able to complete a task in a reasonable amount of time. And there's a good chance if you are booking yourself too full, you need to schedule white space for yourself for your brain to be able to catch up with what is going on in your life. Anyway, I'm going to give you some tips on how to create white space and why you need it. So let's dive into today's video. Did you know you're able to solve some of your biggest problems when you're doing something else? When you're doing a task that's unrelated to the thing you're trying to solve, your mind just like has the ability to kind of roll around ideas and start putting pieces together to really help you figure out and solve the thing that you're trying to figure out. This last week I did a really amazing adventure. I try to schedule one of these at least once a year where I push myself really hard and I get out of my head. I'm doing something by myself and I'm just kind of learning and growing and knowing more about myself. So I booked a 3-day camping trip. I did like 60 kilometers on bike, and I'm not talking like I have like a road bike or anything. We're talking about a beach cruiser with like a little with a little basket in the front, and I carried everything that I would need to camp by myself for 2 nights and 3 days. I find that it's really rewarding to push myself out of this comfort zone, but more importantly, I was creating space in my life. And I find when I'm in the grind of the day-to-day, I don't schedule sometimes enough space for me to just like to be in my thoughts, be able to think, and be able to grow as a person. So last year I had done this in a hiking trip, and I also booked a trip by myself to Cuba, and I literally just like went down with the intention of journaling, writing, thinking. I turned off the music, I turned off the podcasts, and I just was sitting with the information that I already have and was able to solve problems that I was facing in my life and give myself a little bit of a roadmap of where I want to go and really be in tune and not have too much outside distraction. When you sit down and you're just like constantly focused on trying to solve the problem at hand, sometimes your brain isn't able to come up with creative ideas or outside of the box concepts that is going to be able to create solutions that are going to be innovative and really make an impact. Sometimes when you are just so focused, you're coming up with the same ideas that you would have came up or that you've done in the past, and you got the same results. So if you want different results for your life and for your business, for problems that you're facing with photography, I highly suggest just like stepping aside and doing something else. If you do something that's active, that has movement entailed with it, whether it's a long walk, a run, doing yoga, or something like this where you're just kind of focusing on the task at hand, you're able to figure out what's going on. I really enjoy cooking for this reason as well, because I find the monotonous tasks of like doing the order of operation of what you need to do to prepare a meal. I know how to do it, and I'm just subconsciously doing the task, but my mind is elsewhere, and it really gives me a chance to figure out different things that I'm facing. Signs that you might need white space in your life is maybe one, you are sick or there's a lot of people around you saying that they're sick. This is a good indication that you are on like hustle mode and you need to slow down for a second. Another way that I know that I need white space is when I start like prioritizing cleaning and tidying up. As soon as I know that I'm grabbing a broom or I am washing dishes or something like this when I don't need to, there's a good chance that I'm trying to defer facing the block that I'm trying to work through, and find different ways to move my body so that I can jog and think of how I can come up with a solution to figure out what I need to do. If I am sitting at my computer and I'm working by myself from home, one thing that I love doing is if I notice I'm doing a task and it's taking too long, I will jump into a Facebook group and just ask the question, what would you guys do if you had this? And I try to capture to see what everybody is saying and find out what makes sense for me to do. A lot of times when you are in a really engaged Facebook group, you can join the product styling lounge, and there's a few of us in there that are really excited to help each other out, and this could be a really great starting point. But there's many closed Facebook groups that it's entrepreneurs, and even if it's not photographers, they are facing similar problems, and there's good chance that you can learn from somebody else of what they've already done, and you don't have to recreate the wheel. My 4 favorite ways to wind down and create white space and in my schedule is water therapy. If I can go sign into a spa, like a Nordic spa or something like this, that is like pure bliss for me. But as a quick default, jumping in a hot tub or even just soaking in the tub, getting a hot shower really helps keep things moving. Have you ever heard of people getting some of their best ideas while in the shower? Another amazing way is getting quiet and going offline and just like intentionally putting your phone down so that you can focus on what is going on and you're not being distracted or being bombarded or overstimulated by too many things coming in that you're not able to do the tasks that you need to do. I'm a huge believer that you can solve pretty much anything with a large pot of tea and just like some quiet and a nice view. So when in doubt, I will just like walk to a cafe, order their largest tea, and just sit quietly and just give myself the entire time to drink the pot of tea. And 4th, I love when I'm facing something that my mind can't quite get a grasp of. I love going for an exercise, whether that is a bike ride, running, walking. In the winter, I like going skating, anything to get my body moving and just like get out of my thought or out of the environment and where I'm trying to solve the problem, like really helpful. What big hurdles are you facing in your business or personal life? Drop me a comment down here now and let's carry on the conversation. For me, creating white space in my life is some of the most productive time of my week. And it is some of my most productive time of the year when I take these little retreats with myself and I go with the intention of just opening up my mind and like processing the different things that are going on. And I usually come back with more energy, rejuvenated, with a clear intention of how I want to move forward. And all of those things are so helpful in being an entrepreneur and also a photographer. I find that when I day in, day out, when I am on set and I'm taking pictures, it's easy for the creativity to feel like it is drying up. And one of the ways that I refill my cup of creativity is just giving myself space so that I'm not constantly draining myself. And this is one of the best ways that I highly encourage for you to refill yourself up, either creatively, emotionally, anything that is going on. I highly believe that white space is a really good starting point to start tackling some of your biggest problems that you're facing. I want to hear what you're doing to create white space in your life, and if you haven't done it in the past, what are you going to do this week to start creating white space for yourself? Remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. A new video will be launching every Tuesday where I take you behind the scenes, giving you product styling, commercial photography, tips and tricks, and so much more. I'm really digging this whole like mindset sector that I'm doing on my page, and I really find that this is part of the work that makes me a really great photographer, and I think that it could be a missing link that maybe will help you get to your next level of photography as well. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I have a free resource where it is the Success Loop. I learned it over a year ago, and this framework really helps me learn so much about how I can change a situation on the fly, just at a drop of a hat. And it was all framed around the question of who I want to be in that situation. As soon as I ask myself this, I know exactly the outcome that I want to have, and I know how to navigate a tricky situation. The Success Loop is perfect when there is an incident or it feels like there is the rug being ripped out under your feet. This is a great tool. I would really love it if you would grab it. You can grab it in the link below, and you can see the whole video where I describe the success loop. I break down the entire success loop in a video that was done a few weeks ago, and you can access it here.